Hello, friends. I am Jose Silva and I am an artist. And today I will be sharing with you some time lapse videos of the making of a piece of art that is called Un Corazón, which means one heart in Spanish. And I'm going to be sharing some of the personal meaning behind this piece. I created this piece about a year and a half ago while I was going through a really difficult time dealing with the loss of one of my best friends. And I remember waking up every day crying and just being completely scared that I wasn't sure that I was ever going to be okay again or that I was ever going to be happy again. And it was a really difficult time, and I was using art to honor him and to process all the grief and all the emotions that I was going through. And I learned a lot from that experience. I learned that when you lose someone, it's not just the person that you lose. It's also the person that you were when you were with them that you feel like also kind of gets buried. And him and I were incredibly close. And especially towards the end, when he told me that he was going into hospice, I happened to be on my holiday break, and so I was able to spend all my time with him, and I was pretty much there with him almost exclusively. And during that time, I guess both of us facing the reality of what was going on, we became closer than ever, and we had already been really close. Him and I had a very unique friendship in that it wasn't always smooth. You know, we had times where we had stopped talking to each other at times, but we always reconnected. We always communicated and did the work that we had to do, and had the difficult conversations and worked on everything we had to work on in order for us to be friends again. And every time we went through that, we would be closer and stronger friends because of that. So our friendship was very unique. He knew me in ways that I feel like nobody else really does know me. And that all made it very difficult for me. But during that time that I was with him, he would ask me to tell him stories. He kind of just wanted to be in silence, but he wanted to listen to me talking and telling him stories. And at one point I felt like I ran out of stories to tell him that I thought that he would want to listen to. And I'm not sure why I decided to tell him this story about this one morning years and years ago. I had a dream with my grandmother, and I was with her in the house that I grew up in. And in the dream, I was laying with her on the couch, and then she told me that we should tell my mom to open up the windows of the house to let some fresh air inside the house. And I wake up from that dream, and it's my mom calling me to let me know that she had passed away. And so I was telling my friend this story, and he wasn't much of a believer, and I told him I wasn't trying to get him to believe in anything, but that experience made me believe in that there are connections that are beyond the physical form. We're connected to people beyond the physical form, and that's what that experience made me believe. And he was pretty much in silence, but he listened. And so when I did have to eventually run out to get groceries or anything like that, just briefly, he wouldn't want me to leave him alone, but I would tell him, remember that even if I'm not here physically with you, I'm always with you. And he would just kind of brush it off and be like, okay, hurry up. Like, he wasn't really buying it. But I kept at it, and I remember the last day, well, the last day that he was conscious, that morning, I had to run downstairs at the hospital to get myself some food. And he didn't want me to leave. And I told him, I'm going to be right back. And I was like, remember, even if I'm not here physically with you, I'm always with you. And he said, I know, me too. What I was trying to portray in this watercolor was a hug between me and my friend. And I wanted to make it so that where my heart is aligned with where his heart would be. Because even though his heart is no longer beating, my heart is beating. And for as long as my heart is beating, he's always going to be present with me. I'm always going to think about him. I'm always going to mention him. I'm always going to love him. So in that way, we share un corazón. We share one heart. Through this experience, I learned that the most important thing in this life is the connections that you make, the people that you touch, the lives you touch forever, the deep soul connections that you make is all that matters. And yeah, I've also found that these experiences, no one is immune to that in life, and they also allow for connection. You know, we've all lost somebody, and I'm so lucky to have art, to be an artist, and to have art as a way to express those feelings and process all those emotions. And I've made other pieces of art during that time, honoring his memory, and like I said, just to process the emotions that I was going through. So I'm gonna tag those in this video if you wanna learn a little more about our friendship and who he was. I'm sending you all so much love, and thank you so much for watching.